Okay, everybody, I'm back. Let's hope this is clean. It should be loading now. Here we go. We're live. Okay, thank you. Seems to be working on YouTube, seems to be working on Twitter. I don't know if LinkedIn is working, but I think LinkedIn works automatically, so it should be live as well over there. Yeah, happy Thursday, February 6th. Glad to be back. I'll start all over again and try and be as seamless and streamlined as I possibly could. But yeah, it was good to see on Tuesday. We had a podcast, gave you an update of where we're at and all the things that we're working on. And then here we are Thursday. We had a quick interstitial. We did a special broadcast as we had the Bitcoin subcommittee come up, or I don't know what the right name was of the group, but they were up there, and anyway, I think the team's trying to get this going. Can you see me on X? Can you guys confirm? Am I live on X? Now live on X and YouTube. See, we're all over the world, so I have nobody in the studio. I'm just doing this live off my computer. I'm still waiting for the internet connection on my studio in down here, which is just around the corner. But yeah, it's a bit slow in terms of getting everything set up, and I need optical fiber, so that's being installed. So a lot of background. But again, Thursday, 6th of February, 2 days ago, we gave an update. We had a quick side event where we talked about okay, great. We're up live. Perfect. Yeah, we talked about, we did a quick live event where we were looking through and hearing and waiting to learn more from this Bitcoin subcommittee that was coming to put together a report in terms of where the Bitcoin reserve might be going. But instead, what we learned is these are the participants in a committee. And we had some agricultural guy there. I don't know why, but interesting to see and hear his view and their thoughts. But he was pretty savvy. He knew a lot about Bitcoin. But either way, they came up and reported that they're going to put a report together. So we now know the people that are going to do the research and put forward a recommendation. Generally, what my experience tells me, that takes about 6 months. And they're going to put a report forward that will then be a consensus of what the recommendations should be, and then those recommendations will be voted on, which means there'll be another 6 months before it gets approved, as everybody wants to scribble and have their mark in there. And then it maybe be streamlined again down to the bare essentials. Maybe they'll do this really quick using AI, who knows? But the track record does not move quick. So let's see if that changes. That'd be awesome. But I think one of the things what they're obviously trying to do is make sure that crypto moves to the US, that these become the new rails, and then how can all the participants benefit from that? And you have some legacy and some entrepreneurs coming in, and how do they make it US? Is it going to be new startups that are going to come and dominate this field, or is it going to be legacy players like the Web2 companies coming in and trying to own these activities? Is it going to be Bitcoin layer twos, like the blocks of the world, or even PayPal's? Or is it going to be whole new platforms and payment rails that are going to be using Ethereum, that are going to be using Sui and Solana? And what are those? Because a lot of the innovators that are big on those platforms are globally distributed. And so how does that become US, and what is the US's play? I think the bigger play is really going to be around stable coins, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go into a bit of stable coins and what Truflation, or the Truf Nuon, has been doing on top of the Truf network using the Truflation index. So we'll see some activities there, and I'll share some insights there. And Cameron, who is leading the Nuon product, share some insights. I did some recording with him earlier, so I'll share those recordings. Unfortunately, it's a recording as the timeline doesn't meet this timeline, but I'm sure he'll be doing more and sharing more insights as the time evolves. But I think what we can see is going into stable coins and getting a bit more, going deeper on a specific topic. Let me know if you have any questions around stable coins, you have any good insights, any thoughts and components that you have there. But yeah, one of the things is I am Stefan Rust again, founder and CEO of Laguna Labs. We are the developers behind the Truth Network and the developers behind Truflation, but also helping and seeding projects and providing grants to projects like Nuon, to projects like Index.fund. So take a look at those projects. And if you have a good idea and you have a bit of a team and want to build something, we're going to be announcing not 100,000 Truth grant, but $1 million grant for projects building on the Truth network and projects that are using Truflation or any of the real world assets or indexes that are using the Truth network calculation agent. And why are we going to talk about stablecoins, right? We've heard many times that the US wants to bring stablecoins onshore. So we have and we'll go into that, right? So here, right after the announcement on Tuesday, we talked about Trump's administration plans to regulate stablecoins and bring the market onshore with a focus on US dollar-backed digital assets. So the US dollar is going to be the backing of a lot of these stablecoins. And we know already today that 99.9, maybe 8% of all transactions on the blockchain are US dollar denominated stablecoins. Tether, USDC, USDE. So all of these coins are largely backed by US dollar. US dollar is the currency du jour and is the economy. And you can see that super easy if you go to CoinGecko and you look at the volume of Tether just out there, right? And one of the things that we always learn here, you can see Tether, look at the volume. So if you go by 24%, Tether beats everything. It is the crypto market currency, and it is US dollar, right? $85 billion. Is that billion? Yeah, 85 billion, 457 million, 734,212, 24 volume. And look at that, right? More, double Bitcoin. And what's the next one? And yeah, 8x on USDC. So by far the biggest. And as we talked about on the last show, they announced a $13 billion profit. And Tether profit announcement, right? So last year they earned $13 billion. Phenomenal, right? Yeah, so here Tether reports. You can see this here. Tether reportedly made 13 billion profits in 2024. And it's a team of about 200 people, right? So it's like really attractive business. And they're one of the largest holders of the USDT, right? So the T-bills, right? So bonds, US bonds. And they're earning 5% on those, right? And so ultimately, if they have a market cap of, you can see $140 billion, you can assume that they've got maybe $140 billion in T-bills. I think it's a blend between bills and gold and other highly inflationary correlated assets. So you can then see that that is appreciating at a value greater than, so what's 5% on that? That's 14 billion. If you look at 10%, and then, yeah, you take 5% on that, that's 7 billion alone on interest income associated if those weren't in T-bills. Yeah, so yeah, that's really where we're going. And I just wanted to share a bit with you what's going on. And so at Truth Network, we've been building this platform of a decentralized database, economic and financial data included. We have 100 million items that we track with 3 feeds a day. And the Truth Network acts as the calculation agent, calculating indexes that enable trading capability across all sorts of dApps. And you can see these dApps, Index.fund and Nuon, we talked about. All of these indexes are now integrated into Chainlink's data streams. These are available on Jojo Exchange, on Overlay Exchange, on Arbitrum, Jojo on Base. And we just had an amazing call with Charles Hoskinson and his team, John Connor at RealFi, which are doing microloans and want inflation protection on those microloans. How do we build something out? You all know Truflation is already being used by FPI, which is on Frax, as well as on Spot, which is Ampleforth's inflation-protected stablecoin. And Truflation obviously is a big data provider, but also a provider of indexes and developer of indexes associated with the Truth network. And that is then marketed to users that can interact with all of these protocols. So we are going to talk about index.fund next week. Right now, it's all stablecoins. That's the topic du jour. And so Truth Network. What is Truth Network about, right? You can see going into detail. We will cover off what this decentralized economic database looks like. We will share that with you in terms of all the technologies that are underlying that. That is the utility and the infrastructure that we've been building. And that is how we are benchmarking Truflation. We will outperform, and our compensation is going to be measured on outperforming infrastructure category in the market on the blockchain. So check out infrastructure on the blockchain, any of those categories. We will be outperforming those by 10%. That's our goal. And we've been struggling as an industry to get the recognition because it's not a meme coin. But this is infrastructure. It takes build, it takes development time and effort. But either way, you can see here, we've got a number of data providers. They provide their data, which is verified on the network by the various node operators. It is then used for compute capabilities and calculation of indexes. That is then made available to various consumers or apps using SDKs, RPC, blockchains, or even oracles. I don't know if you saw, we just did the announcement with Plume and Nexus that came out. So I'm not sure if it's public, actually. Whoops. Plume Network, Nexus. I think it came out. I hope so. Otherwise, yeah, here, Real World Data Partner. Yeah, so here you can see Nexus is here. We announced with Nexus. So the Truth Network, sorry, you can't see that. Real world data provider. So we are providing and have a plugin into Nexus on the Plume network to share all of the indexes that have been created. Look here, you can see, there you go, Truth Network. Boom, there we are. Nice announcement. Alongside other infrastructure providers, right? These are the infrastructure providers. What is infrastructure and what do we mean when we talk about infrastructure, right? Here you go to CoinGecko, boom, search infrastructure. Unfortunately, it's down 6.48%. So we have to be better by 10% above this market. So 6.5% net, we should be at least dropping no worse than 6%. I don't know, I better check, but that's how we're going to benchmark ourselves. So you can see Chainlink here, Internet Computer, Filecoin, you have Pith Network, Starknet, DeepBook, which is on the Sui network, and other infrastructure providers. I don't know why they're all infrastructure, but that's how we are benchmarked. Supra is there, Fala is there. So you can see a whole bunch of different protocols there. Fuel Network, they're also down, up a little now, just now. But anyway, it's a tough market there. We've got to recognize, and the world has to begin to recognize the infrastructure that's being built out by us as a network participant. And how do we get the recognition that we want? Somehow it's not sharing, right? You didn't see any of that. That's super weird. Yeah, so now here you can see what it looks like. Yeah, and so this is the infrastructure, right? So here you got all the different coins, stacks, the graph, Pith network. You've got DeepBook, data availability layer. We did the Walrus announcement. So if you haven't seen the Walrus announcement and I didn't share it with you before, at least now here you can see it. You can see the fact that Truth Network is in there providing real world asset data to the Nexus network, and it's plugged in via an SDK that has been developed and made available through the distribution network on the Truth network. Anyway, I just wanted to give you some context, right? But most importantly, right now, what we're really trying to talk about is this product up here, the Nuon.fi. What is that? We'll go into that detail, and why is stablecoin so important and why are we building on that? So if you haven't already seen, ARK Invest is it's a bit of a controversial investment platform. But Kathy Woods over there has a great team of analysts, and they put this report together called Big Ideas 2025. So you can go and download it from their website and have a look at it. And what we've done is taken a look at this, and I'm just going to walk through this a little bit before I go into Cam's video around stablecoins. Here you can see it's one of the fastest growing segments in digital assets. Stablecoins overtook Visa in transaction value, right? So you can see the growth over here. You can see digital asset market capitalization, stablecoin transaction counts. So lots of numbers all going up. And you can see here that stablecoins combined has overtaken Amex, MasterCard, and Visa just now. So within the last year, it's continuing to go up, but you can see the volumes, which platform are they traded on. So it's pretty much equal across Solana, heavy utilization there. Tron, which uses USDT a lot, Ethereum, Base, and then the remainder. Ethena, which is a new one, which is a yield-bearing stablecoin, reached 6 billion in total in the first 12 months. So people are out there hunting yield, right? And so how are they doing this? Amazing success. And yeah, so a good reference case in terms of what people are looking at. This is not decentralized, it's centralized, doesn't matter, who cares? People are looking for yield, right? And that's where the industry has moved towards in crypto, where how can we get more yield? That's what we're looking for. That's what the world is driving towards, versus actually risk capital leading and driving investments, helping the ecosystem grow, building new platforms around the side, having the trickle down effect from Bitcoin to Ethereum to other altcoins that are new stable coins and new DeFi oriented products. How do we get into that market set and that mindset? Here you can see a couple of stable coins, Tether, Circle. I don't know USDS. That's the new DAI. So that's the new name for DAI, USDE, which is the Ethena, and then FDUSD, which is first USD, first dollar, I think it's called, or first dollar, which is USD, which is the Binance coin. It was taken and adopted by Binance, but still tiny in terms of percentage. And Tether, look at that dominance. I mean, that's the big kahuna by miles. And I shared that with you earlier. And you saw that, right? And so here you can see which platform they're trading on. Tron. Tron kills it. Why? Because Tether is on Tron. People are doing big payments, big movements on cheap platforms. So cheap matters. Price matters. And so, yeah, check that out. Ooh, XDC is here. We're talking to XDC. There might be, we already integrated with XDC, so there might be some announcements coming out there. Also, some of the other providers up here. So it'll be really interesting. Yeah, and so some countries shift away from the dollar, digital assets are moving towards it. So whilst you want to see other countries moving away, there, whenever you adopt digital assets, you're using digital dollar, stable coins, they're all pegged to the dollar. So as stable coins grow, the dollar-backed stable coins matter, and so they're growing. And that's what this article is saying, that, or this is what the insight that this report is highlighting, is that that's coming from there. And they're attracting retail interest. Why do retails love this? Lower cost, faster settlement, instant settlement, no fees to set up. I can just have a mobile phone and a client app on there, and then I can define and set everything up on that in terms of where the money should be flowing. I spent most of my career starting in crypto, building peer-to-peer electronic cash, how to get merchants adoption, right? You can save 5 to 7% point of sale solutions at a merchant. You can settle instantaneously versus 30 days later. And you can, all of that is significantly better. And you can immediately save and funnel those funds into yield bearing opportunities. So if I've settled instantly, I can immediately start earning funds on that instant settlement, whilst I have to wait to make a payment over and in 30 days time, for example, instead of it sitting at some Visa card, waiting for settlement, having paid 7 middlemen along the way, etc. Right? So that's a huge advantage, and we're going to see significant growth across this area. So anyway, you can read the report. It's out there. You can download it. But there are definitely some interesting insights. The rewards are transferring to the users, right? So in the past, all the rewards and benefits of a stablecoin stayed within Circle and Tether. Those are now moving as a way to get more competitive. The interesting element here is, look, 38% growth in money supply. It's still 0.17 of M2 money supply, right? So the velocity of money, the handover of money, this is going to be less than 1% by the end of this decade. And one thing we know, that this is always going to be wrong. It was always underestimated. I was in the mobile phone business. McKinsey, the elusive McKinsey, came out and reported that this was only going to be live. There was 100,000 mobile phones, and today we can't live without a mobile phone. And so now here we have the same coming out, very conservative report saying 0.9% of fiat. I don't think that. I think we're going to hit a 10% of fiat, especially as fiat just crumbles, and we're going to be using more and more digital coins. And ultimately, the dollar is going to be the backing behind all of these coins. Anyway, so read that report. It's super interesting and has other interesting insights. So I'll let you go check it out and have a look at it. But yeah, lots to see in there. The other thing is, as you know, we've been heavily supporting and working super close with the team at Nuon. What is Nuon and what does that look like? They are about to launch imminently, but basically this is how it works. I have a quick summary and I'll share the video with you. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, as it's on Riverside as well. But ultimately, you see the US dollar comes in, you get one Nuon. Nuon is a inflation insurance. It guarantees and protects you against inflation. It is an insurance certificate that you receive in the form of an ERC20 token that is tradable and allows you to know that inflation is protected. Where does inflation come from? Where does that yield of inflation come from? So we try to be really transparent around that. And so you see 20% of your USDC goes into a buffer. That means it needs to be quickly available, immediately available to everybody. And so that goes into an 8% vault on Aave, which is a secure staking platform, lending platform, and they're offering 8% on USDC. These interest rates vary significantly. Day to day, they fluctuate. And so the idea here is to build out, the team have built out infrastructure to manage the different pools and allow you as a new mint holder to participate in vetoing and blocking high risk pools that you think the protocol should not participate in. So you are a participant, or think of it, you're a part of the general partners in a liquid fund that's allowing to vote on the various pools that are out there. You can veto them, you don't vote them in. And ultimately, that allows for the yield generation. Working with some partners, and those are then specific pools within those partners, IPOR, Aerodrome, XtraFi. Those are protocols out there that have yield earning reward pools. So here you can see some examples. Ultimately, that adds up to a number of which the inflation protection is shared with Nuon providers. A certain proportion goes into inflation correlated assets, so gold, oil, etc. So those are tokenized assets that can sit there and earn yield in the days, so that the days when internet yield or crypto yield is not sufficient, that then it can draw down on inflation correlated assets. And then any surplus is rewarded to you as a participant, or new mint holders as a participant in this protocol, ensuring its safety and security. So that's really what it's about, and is what the team has been working on relentlessly and tirelessly, and really proud on seeing what they've been able to do. So on that note, the team have been working on a protocol, and I'm not sure what the best way to deal with this, but I will upload this onto YouTube. But you can see here the share. Here is the video that I produced with Cameron. What would you like to do? What do you think is the best thing? Shall I upload this onto YouTube and then you can go and watch it? How would you like it? Is Nuon your project too, or just a partner? Nuon is built on top of Truth Network. We have provided them a grant. We provided them with seed funding to get off the ground and build on top of Truflation and the Truth Network. It's sitting on base, but it's utilizing the Truflation inflation calculator to offer and guarantee the inflation protection. So they pay the Truth Network in Truth token in order to get the Truflation index. So that's how they are interacting with the Truth Network. Hope that helps, Thibaut, and that makes sense. But just to be very clear, yeah, Nuon is utilizing the Truth Network. The Truth Network is providing the calculation agent, is the calculation agent for the Truflation index. Nuon is paying in Truth tokens to the Truth Network for the Truflation index, which gets updated on a daily basis, which is allowing the rebasing of the Nuon holders in Truflation. So ultimately, you have an insurance policy that protects your dollar against inflation. Hope that answers the question. Yeah, I think the video is about 30 minutes long. You can see it's 37 minutes here. I'm already at 26 minutes, so we want to keep these below 30 minutes. I will post this up onto YouTube and we will share it through our various channels. So please go watch this video and learn about Nuon. It's really, so here you can see. So there you go. You can have a look at it. Until we're just going to cut this short. I'm going to stop here. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy Nuon. Gives you something to watch on the weekend and go deeper into. There will be benefits to Truth as we've seeded this. And yes, it's coming soon. It's going to be live in 2 weeks. Check out vip.nuon.fi. That's the site where you can go and sign up and keep informed on the latest and participate in the controlled initial deployment, where there will be super high yields out there. Check it out. Let me just show you what that looks like. Yeah, and boom, boom. Yeah, so the Numint hold tokens that Truth received for helping seed and support and fund the Nuon protocol will be made available to Truth holders. So we will be sharing those, and we're working through with the Nuon team how to be able to distribute that so they're fair, they don't have any disruption to the protocol and their plans, and within the emission schedule that's highlighted. So we're just working through that with the team, but that is going to be a benefit to Truth holders. So again, Truth Network, I can't believe all the infrastructure, all the partners, all the content, all the data, all of that, and all the development that we've already done, and the audits, the safety, the security, all of that is super undervalued. I just cannot express that even more. You're going to hear that a lot from me. And if you think we're scammers, then just drop the coin and unfortunately, or just hold it and stake it and view it as a lost cause. And then if we can prove you right, what have you got to lose, right? But in the end, as holders, we're here. I'm still building. I'm still holding these calls. We're still getting and working with partners, building on top of the infrastructure that we've created. And we've set ourselves a benchmark to beat. And if the whole vertical that we're in grows, we will grow faster than they will. And our goal is to grow and build back stronger. I mean, that's what we are at. We're 2025. It's gonna be an amazing year for us, and super excited that Nuon is coming out. And then next week, stay tuned. We will have maybe on Tuesday, I'll see if I can get the index.fun team to come and show how they work with Truth Network, paying in Truth and settling in Truth for the indexes that Truth is providing to all of these protocols building on top of the Truth Network. They may be on their blockchain, but the data availability, the calculation agent is coming from the Truth Network or a partner of Truth Network, like a Nexus or like a, stay tuned. Chainlink is obviously already there. They were there with us for the beginning, and very similar to the way we worked with Chainlink in them seeding us to build on top of Chainlink. We are working with Nuon, building on top of Truth Network and Chainlink to make Nuon a success. So sign up on Nuon, vip.nuon.fi, and you can see there is, however, for the guarded launch or the controlled initial deployment, there is a $1,000 minimum participation. But it's your dollar. You get it back at the end of 6 weeks, and you're going to get an APY of about 40% if you stake a dollar. So you have nothing to lose other than possibly, so you just get your Nuon and you get your dollar back at any time after the 6 weeks, but you do lock it up for 6 weeks. But you're getting a 40% APY on top of that. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this. And I will see you back next Tuesday, and we'll upload this video onto the YouTube, and we'll upload the Nuon video onto the YouTube as well. So take care. Have a great weekend and enjoy the videos. Work out hard, stay healthy, and Days of Thunder. We're right now in them. It's going to be 100 days of rock and roll, and left, right, up, down. Who knows where this is going to go? Hold on tight. Who knows what's going to happen this weekend? But one thing we know, something will happen. It's going to be rock and roll. Thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, buckle up, and stay healthy. Bye for now.